Wake Forest experience
Oh,
a little
Lord.
bit. Yeah, I know it's
I don't
not
know
a
if I,
fun one.
I don't know if I can remember. I mean, shoot, I put that thing to bed a long time
Yeah,
ago.
what in terms of, I mean, I thought the defense held up really well. You guys held them well beyond or well below the numbers they were having, coming into the game. Any key lessons that you were able to kind of take and apply, or is it, we just got to be better at what we need to do, play in and play out?
Yeah, just continue to get better with everything from week to week, and find a way to finish. Is the deal. I mean, you can battle all you want, throughout the game, but at the end of the day, just finding a way to finish. Whether it's with a takeaway or with a negative yards play, whatever it may be, just something that can turn the tide and finish the game off.
Unique challenge this week for the secondary. Rogers is just having all sorts of success back there. They've got a lot of different weapons in the receiver group. Larry Rose is a receiving weapon out of the backfield. There's a lot of things to try to keep up with for this week. Are there any keys that you've noticed that you're able to kind of hone in on, or do they take that away from you? Because they line up a lot of different ways. They've got a lot of movement. I mean, they don't make it easy on you to try to get a read on them pre-snap.
No, it's just really just understanding your assignment within the scheme of the defense is called, because they're very talented. They've made explosive big plays, and they're good at what they do. I think the quarterback's extremely accurate, great ball location on his intermediate and long throws. He's got some speed weapons. He's got guys that can make you miss, and he's got big target outside with Jalil, and so he can go up and get it. And then Larry Rose is all conference player. So they're playing extremely well, and they're using their weapons very effectively.
In terms of trying to get them into situations where you can get them off the field, which is obviously the goal with an explosive offense. I was talking to Sat. They're ninth in the country right now in third down conversions. They're a little bit over 50%. And you guys have been really good at getting teams off the field. You're at about 33%. So something's got to give there. Any particular tendencies you're seeing from these guys on first down, maybe to try to get them behind the sticks a little bit?
Not as much, because they're fairly pretty close to 50-50 team, run pass on first down. So again, it just comes back to doing your assignments and trusting the guy beside you, that he's going to fit where needed, or that he's going to be in his coverage area. Whoever's on top stays on top, and whoever's underneath closing windows, do a good job closing those windows. And then when it's run, that we do a great job meeting and defeating blocks up front, and maintaining our gaps, and doing a great job tackling, not just block tackling or blunting somebody down, but actually wrapping up and doing a great job tackling.
In terms of Josh being out, and Sat said he looks to be out for at least a couple of 3 weeks at this point. How does that change the personnel packages for you in terms of being able to go, certainly going nickel is well within your scope, but does it affect the ability to maybe jump into a dime if you want to, and how are you going to adjust to Josh's absence with your personnel at safety?
Yeah, right now it doesn't, because even in the last game, Exford played a decent amount of nickel, which is, he and Josh were the two deep at nickel, and then, still got with AJ and Des Franklin and Cato, so still got guys, and one or two more injuries, and certainly that does, at some points you run out of tools in the tool shed, but right now we're able to still get into all our sub packages and do our stuff.
And then in terms of in terms of the discipline that you're looking for this week from the corners, I anticipate that if you're going to blitz much at all with the way they line up in five wides a lot, you're going to have to count on some man coverage. So obviously, maintaining focus, not peeking into the backfield, that kind of stuff. You mentioned they've got a really large receiver on the outside, and everybody's got one of those, it seems like, but he seems to be a little more of a well-rounded package. He's not just big; he's a good technical receiver. He runs good routes. He's got some speed to him. How do you anticipate trying to kind of offset him? Do you stay away from him and let him get into his route? Do you come up and press him? I'm sure there'll be a mix of both, but he's a big package to try to contain with some smaller corners.
Yeah, the biggest thing, I think the guys will get into the game and get a feel for him from a physicality standpoint, as well as a speed standpoint. So to say we're going in and saying we're going to do it this way or do it that way or not do it a certain way, You know, we don't ever go into a game that way. A lot of it is we let the guys, they know their skill set personally and what they feel comfortable doing. And then, you know, as they get into the game, then whether to adjust that or tweak it or what's being more effective, then, you know, it's one of those things you just get a feel for once you get on the field.
Good deal.